Welcome to Podcast in the Know. This is Wednesday. I'm your host, Ms. Shorb. So glad to have you all here today. We have a special guest today, Jen Garcia. She's going to be talking about physical wellness.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today we're going to be covering, during these next couple of weeks, we'll be diving more into different dimensions of wellness. So wellness is basically, and the dimensions of it, is basically just all of the ways. It's like a big pie. If you can picture a big pie and just split it up into a lot of different pieces, there's a lot of different sections, like the physical well-being, your spiritual well-being, your emotional well-being, environmental well-being. There's social well-being, and then there's also intellectual well-being. And so all of these things come together, and they form your wellness. And so today specifically, we're going to be diving in a little bit into the physical wellness. Before we get started, I would just like us to do some breathing. So we're just going to take 3 deep breaths right now. So breathe in, breathe out. All right, there you go. 1. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, last one. Ready? Breathe in and breathe out. All right, so why did we just do this? Breathing actually helps calm down our body, and it just makes our mind easier to focus on what's in front of us. It's like grounding. I like to say that sometimes our bodies are just in go mode. We're just we need to do stuff. You're thinking about absolutely everything in the universe, and sometimes it makes it very hard to focus when you're in that state so much that sometimes breathing can just bring you back down, and it grounds you a little bit, so that you can focus on what's in front of you. So I suggest that you all just before you start your day or your schoolwork or something along those lines, to just take those 3 deep breaths. It's not it takes that long, just a couple of seconds just to ground yourself, to be able to focus a little bit more. I wanted to start off just by asking, teachers can raise their hand if there's any students that wants to answer this question. But what comes to mind when we think physical wellness? What's the first thing that pops into your head?
I want to say, when I think of physical wellness, it is all the things that I need to do to keep my physical body healthy, like food. So.
Yes. Anyone else? Miss Francis?
I think muscles.
Yes. That's actually one of the first things that when people hear physical, your muscles and going to the gym and working out, that tends to be the first thing that your mind goes to. And some of us are just oh no, working out, that's just not for me. But physical wellness has so much more than just the muscle area, flexibility, and working out. Like Ms. Shorb said, it's basically just everything that helps you function. So a lot of things come into this. Flexibility and exercise are a part of this, but they're not the only thing. Your sleep is also something that's very huge when it comes to your wellness. Healthy eating, or just eating slightly better even, is another area. Just finding a routine can help your body just know what's going to happen next, and sometimes can alleviate some of that stress that tends to come on, especially as students. And then just finding some time to take care of ourselves can make a huge difference in how we're able to function. And so with that being said, taking care of yourselves is not a bad thing. Taking a break is not bad. It's all it comes down to in moderation, how you do so. So you're not gonna take a break for hours on end when you have tons of homework to do. But you can even take 5-minute breaks in between. Set some goals for yourself. So if you're when I get to 40%, or once I get to 45%, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, and I'm just gonna take some time off. That can help a lot. Same with like snacks. Um, if you're like, oh, I really want something, you can like use that as well to like motivate you to just like be more like have your body be like more like excited to like do stuff. So setting those like little goals um, can like be very helpful. Yes, Ms. Shorb.
I was going to say, I heard this a long time ago that if you have a list of chores you want to do, and one of them, pick the one you hate to do the most and do it first. That way, everything else is like a reward because you got the hard one out of the way.
Yes, that's definitely, I mean, that helps me a lot too. Like I do, I know I mentioned it to a couple of the teachers. I do this like three-tiered like to-do list where I put my like I have three sections. My first section is my need to-do list. So I limit that to 5 things. My middle section is my I want to do. And that I limit that to another 5. And then my last section is just like if I have time, so that I'm not like stressing about it. It's just like if I have time. And this creates this like thing where I'm like, okay, I have to get this done, and it might not be the funnest thing in the world, but if I get this done, then that means I get to get to the next thing, and that sounds really fun. So like that's definitely how I'm able to just like make my body know that like, okay, once I do this, like I get to do this, and it just like makes you a little bit happier to get like the thing that you hate the most out of the way first. For me, washing dishes is just not it for me. Um, and so I tend to want to get that out of the way as soon as possible when I have to do it. Um, but when it comes to different areas, so for example, flexibility, sometimes it's hard because like, or exercise too. Like, how are we able to exercise when we're on our computers? Like, or, we used to be able to exercise more and like move more when we were like moving classes. Yes.
Hi, it's Miss Kay. Yeah, that's one thing, especially for teachers right now when we're in front of, because you have to sit in front of the camera and that sort of thing to get the focus in. So, yes, moving your legs, stretching them under the desk. You can also stand sometimes, especially if you're not on camera, or you could stand while you're doing looking at papers and things like that. And that helps mobility. I'm thinking if you move your legs a little bit or your arms a little, that helps greatly.
Yeah, that's definitely very fair. Sometimes just like even the smallest movements can make like a because it just like triggers your brain to be like, okay, I'm like still functioning, like I'm still like still here, and so it helps you like focus as well. Because I know how hard it can be like on in a virtual setting. I know that like last week we Aaron actually spoke about the like difference between online being like virtual and like in person and so like when it comes to like that virtual aspect of it, it can be really hard to focus sometimes and so doing little things like in your chair, even like I mean you can like stretch like all over in your like seat, and even that just like helps. I like to like when I'm like doing a lot, I'm just like I just need to like do like a 5 4 3 2 1 where I shake like every single like limb in my body and I'm able to just bring it back in. But yeah, just like little stretches, like Miss K said, in your seat can be helpful. If you're like falling asleep, I'm sorry if you're falling asleep during this, uh, but like even just getting up and like asking to use the restroom might be able to like help you with that as well. And like just taking some like time to like, okay, I'm gonna relax, like this is my time, and right now like if you want to go like on TikTok for like 5 minutes sometimes like that's okay. Like I said, if you do it like in moderation and you're not just like spending, because I know that can usually just go hours just like swiping through things and that can like also be very tiring for your brain. You might not like be like thinking about it when you're doing it but your brain is like we started off saying takes in everything, and like it's what we put into it that it feeds out. Yes, Ms. Shorb?
I actually read an interesting article about blue light and the brain, and it said that when you are on your phone, it lowers your melatonin levels and also changes your brain waves, so it makes it more difficult for you to relax. So you should not ever have the blue light on your phone. You should put the filter on, and also not be on any electronic devices prior to bed for like an hour. Another thing I've noticed too for healthy sleeping is if you have your phone turned off, so your friends can't blow up your phone at 2 in the morning because they're wide awake and you're trying to sleep. So it's a good idea to limit your that time that people can reach out to you.
Yeah, because when it comes to like sleep, it can be like very, I mean, I always like sometimes I'll have a hard time sleeping and I'll be like, it's not my phone that's like not letting me sleep. But it actually is a lot of the time. And so we just like start getting carried away too of like at night, we're just like, okay, we're just like gonna be viewing some things. And then you look at the clock and you're like, oh no, it's like a like really crazy hour of the night, and then you're like, oh man, I have to wake up early tomorrow. So that like that even just like your brain sometimes, like I said, is like just in go mode, so you're just like going through it all, and you're not realizing just like how much time you're spending in things. Something I like to do is like my phone tells me how much like hours and time I spend on things, and I try to like limit that, even if it's just by like 5 minutes. I try to like do that, and then you're like able to like tone it down a little bit more. And like I said, routine is also like an area that falls into wellness. And so, with that being said, like if you create a bedtime routine, that can be very helpful for your body to then be like, okay, if you're a night shower, like I'm a morning person that likes to shower in the morning, but if like part of your nighttime routine is to like take a shower, then like that helps. So just like creating like a really good routine of like, okay, I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'm gonna like maybe just like listen to something for a couple of minutes, and then I'm just gonna like turn off my phone right next to me, or I'm just gonna use it for very little, but like setting like an alarm of like this is the time when I'm gonna like turn off my phone and try to like just close my eyes and go to bed. Laying there, like you're just like laying there. Sometimes like I know when I do that, I'm just like, oh no, like I can't sleep. And so I'm just like staring at the ceiling. And so like what do you do when like that happens? Sometimes like even just one breathing too, but like um counting like your heart rate. So just like putting your like finger anywhere where you can feel your heart rate and just like counting along with it can sometimes help. And it also just like helps like calm down your heart rate, which can lead to like better sleep at night. Like Miss Sharp said, sometimes like we lose like we don't produce that much melatonin, which is like what helps us sleep at night, because we're like on our phone so much sometimes. And so there are some like supplements that like are out there too, that you can like talk to, see if you have any. But like there's also like teas can help as well. No sugar, because sugar is like it's good in the morning, but at nighttime, that's like what keeps you up and running. And that's what we don't want. Um, so definitely like trying to just like have that like nighttime routine. I like suggest that you like try to just create it, like write it down on a piece of paper. Put it like right next to like your bedside, or like even on your phone, like put it as a screensaver sometimes. Like I know that's a little weird, like if you are like show if somebody sees it in the morning, but like then you get to explain to them why you're doing it, and then you get to like have a conversation about it. So there's just like little things that like you are able to do that just like help you, because like every like you take in is like what you're gonna put out. So like if you're just always like not sleeping, you're like not being like healthy, you're always on your phone, you're like never moving like in your area, your body's gonna like be like, what is going on? And it's actually going to like trigger your body to like shut down. This can be like very triggering to like your flight or fight like part of your like brain, which can like either lead to you just like completely like shutting down because you're not like taking care of yourselves. So I'm like really excited that we get to have like times on Wednesdays because it's halfway through the week. We're almost there. We just have a couple more days. And so I hope this helps as like a time for you to just be like, okay, I have to take care of myself. And it's time to like bring it back in so then I can get through and like push through to the week. Yes, Ms. Shore?
I was going to say, maybe we can do a wellness challenge for the next 2 weeks. So they say you're supposed to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water. Water cleanses toxins out of your body. It helps hydrate you. It gives your cells the water and liquids they need. And so I challenge everyone on this call, 33 ounces, you drink 2 of these a week or a day. So there's 60 ounces of water, 64 ounces. I challenge us all to drink 64 ounces of water a day. And let's see if we can do that. And then maybe when we report back on Wednesday after fall break, we can have everybody chime in, and of course, honor system. Honesty is the best policy. Did you or didn't you manage to do all 14 days of drinking 60 ounces of water?
Yeah, so we'll check back in. I won't forget. So we'll check back in when we're back. But like mentioned, like you get fall break. So that's like the perfect time to just like de-stress. And that's like one of the reasons why we get it. Is for you to like calm down, bring it back in, have some time for yourself. So that you're able to come back and just like power through for like the rest of the semester and just like be like better because your physical health then goes on to all the other areas that I mentioned at the beginning of your wellness. So if you don't have like a good physical health, like that can like affect greatly your emotional health, like your social health. You're like too like tired to even like talk to people sometimes, and it can affect like all different areas of wellness. And so you're going to be hearing a lot about different areas, and all of them are going to come together because, like I said, this is just going to be one big pie that we're going to be taking in. And so every section is going to be very important. So this is the first challenge for you all, and we'll check back in after fall break about that. But yeah, if anyone would like to get in contact with me, I am the social worker here at Ombudsman. I'm a student at ASU in my final year. And so I'm just here to like help support you in any way that you need. So if that is your like physical well-being, you can like come, we can do some like stretches together real quick. But if it's like you need someone to just like talk to, I'm also here for that. You can get in contact with me. So it's really just like I'm here for you. So reach out to me. I'm here to support you. But that's all I have for this Wellness Wednesday. So I hope you were able to take at least one thing away from this, and that is to take care of yourselves. Self-care is not selfish, and as students, like I know what it's like to like feel so overwhelmed sometimes, and so stress is like going to happen, but if you're able to like take some rest, you're able to like it's gonna equal your growth. So I, like Ms. Shorb said, we challenge you these next 2 weeks for the water challenge. I'm not that good at that, so it's gonna be a challenge for me too.
Thank you so much, Jen. That was great information. And I do challenge all of you to 60 ounces of water over the next 2 weeks. It's going to change you. I promise you that. We'll check back in with all of you. Well, that is it for today's podcast. Thank you so much. All right, folks, until Friday, Wellness Wednesday, happy Wednesday, halfway through the week, and we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.